Morning, everybody. It's 8:35 on this Wednesday morning, the 10th of April. Okay, so I guess I'm going to have to discard my headline for the Daily Note tonight because I was thinking that we were going to have more unimportant numbers, like, you know, what if they gave a CPI number and nobody cared. But people are caring about this. CPI and core CPI came in absurdly hot. And when I say that, it's not that it was up so much, it's that it was up at all. CPI expectations were for point 0.3, came in at up point 0.4. Year over year, 3.5 versus expectations of 3.4, and last month's 3.2. Core CPI came in at 3.8, which was equal to last month, but again, not down. Ex food and energy up 4 tenths versus up 3 tenths, so pretty much the same as regular CPI. The thing that has broken to the upside here are rates. We were trading around the 10 year around 434. We immediately popped up to 446, currently 449.1. That's a very big number. At 6:30 this morning, the futures were up 42 in the Dow, up 17 in the Nasdaq, and up 3 in the S&P. At 8:29, they were up 60 in the Dow, up 31 in the Nasdaq, and up 7 excuse me, in the S&P. Dow futures down 435. Gold is down 13 because, as I've mentioned repeatedly, um, the metals have been running on interest rates, not inflation. Nasdaq is down 266 and continuing to fall. S&P is down 70. And as if it weren't clear enough, the post office got into the act today. They are petitioning Congress to raise the price of a first class stamp from 68 to 73. So that's about 8%. CVX was up higher. That's Chevron with an upgrade, even if they don't complete their deal with Hess. Asia was lower. Europe was higher. You can be sure Europe is going to sell off. We also have the FOMC at 2 o'clock, the minutes. So, ought to be interesting. Bank earnings start on Friday. Today's earnings were Delta with a miss on revenue, but a beat on earnings. The stock had closed at 47.32 yesterday. This morning it was 49.92, which was up $1.50. Pardon me, up 31 cents, 42. Last is 49.01, and even with a little bit of a sell-off from that 49.92, we are still up $1.74 or 3.49. Boeing continues to get smacked around, and that was on the basis of this current whistleblower. I mentioned this yesterday, that the 737 issue that they had with the busted up cowling was not a Boeing issue. It was a maintenance issue. And they hit something on takeoff. So, all of the big hubbub there ought to be falling by the wayside. Boeing right now is down $1.82 at 176. This is a recent new low. The last time the stock was down here in the 176 area was in October of last year. At the bottom of the decline, it was 176 and a quarter. It rallied up to 267 after that. The chart on the screen is, oh, they don't have a chart on the screen. Oil up 46, but the chart on the screen was and is going to be in a second nat gas, which continues to move higher. This is the daily. It's not trading on the high right now, which was 194.30, but it is 191.10, and that is up 390 again. A look at the rest of the futures now that we're settling in. The gold, which was down almost 20, is now down about 11. The big one ought to be the bonds, down 1 and 22/32. That's 1 and 3/4, almost 1 and actually 11/16, and that is pushing the dollar strongly higher, up 51 cents at 104 and change. Let's take a look at that. Yep. Looks like this is the daily. Let's look at it on the weekly because you can't really trade the dollar short term. You really have to look at the trend here. This is the 3-year weekly. We had broken above the downtrend line. As I mentioned 2 weeks ago, this chart looks a lot like the oil looked, and broke above, and of course the oil continued higher. Excuse me, we have not continued higher because, my favorite new expression, it's an election year, stupid. And so they're doing everything under the sun in order to make things look better. And a strong dollar is not necessarily better. It hurts our exports, it hurts our general demeanor for pricing of just about anything. So, oil up 40 cents, up almost 4 cents in that gas. Gold now down 15 again. Silver down minorly. And by minorly, I mean a nickel. Copper up a little. That's representative of the economy. Platinum, palladium, all down just slightly. S&Ps are right now, let's just give you an update here. The Dow down 461. Let's see which one they print next. The 10-year, 450.3. I mean, that's a huge jump. The S&P down 74. A look at some of the big names. We have Google down almost 2. Amazon down 3.5. Apple down only 70 cents. Meta down 9.5. Microsoft down 450. Nvidia down 12. Tesla down 370. Well, you get the general idea. The SLV is only down 18 cents. The UNG, which we are long, is up only 8 cents. Has been as high as 16 and a quarter. Last is 15.95. As I said, that's up about a dime. And the SPSX, that's the inverse times 3 S&P, 933. That is up 38 cents. Um, Pretty substantial. Okay, folks, that's about it. I'll be back first thing in the morning and I will put out a daily note early like I did last night. Have a good one. And be careful out there. This is what appropriate position size to your risk is all about.